Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
Now, Mr. Magazine.
I have a question for you today, Mr. Magazine.
Good.
We better, or else we're not
We're
going
in
anywhere on
trouble,
this
yeah.
channel. How much does my cheapness hurt me?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Well, if you like being cheap and you accept being cheap and you're still successful being cheap, then I don't think it hurts you. It might hurt me, or by me taking chances, if you took chances, it might hurt you. But I think the way we do things differently, we like the way it is, and we're happy with that.
Well, the reason that I brought this up is there's a subscriber out there that I talked to that went to a show that I went to. And at that show, I spent, I don't know, we'll say $150, something rather like that, and I'll do well.
Yeah.
This person has been selling for a couple of years. I've been selling for 20 years. They spent $600 at the same show, and we were pretty much there at the same time. It's not like, they went there a day earlier or anything like that. And it's not like they have contacts at the show that, oh, yeah, this person put this aside for him, this person put that aside for him. It's not like that at all.
Yeah.
It's just everything open, pretty much the same stuff that they looked at, I looked at, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And they found $600 worth of stuff, and I spent $150. And it got me wondering, am I passing up a lot of opportunities? Or is it just that I'm not taking chances because I don't need to take chances because of the back inventory?
It's two things. Experience, which you have, because go back 20 years, you would be that guy buying that $600 worth of stuff, because one, you have the money and you're going to take some chances and build up inventory, and you don't have what you have here.
Right.
So you don't need to now. Where maybe then, like, hey, I got to get some inventory, I need some stuff to list. And we've all paid a little more back then. We didn't know as much like we do now. We're more selective and smarter, so I think that's certainly part of it.
So I guess if I'm hearing you right, it isn't so much that I'm cheap at this point, although I am. I will admit that I am.
Frugal.
There you go. It's more that if I can spend $150 and cherry pick,
Yes.
versus spend $600 and buy bigger lots, different lots, buy whatever.
Yeah.
Because the other interesting thing about it is I sell stuff on Whatnot, as we're all aware. Check it out. 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern every Tuesday, every Thursday. Tuesday's Ephemera, and Thursday are books. And I sell stuff at a $3 price point. And 95 to 98% of the stuff that I start, if it sells at its opening bid of $3, I made money. And the people that buy from me know I'm not bringing junk. I'm not bringing garbage, which tells you that everything that I'm bringing there, I paid, generally speaking, $1 or less for.
Right.
And it's not bad stuff by any means whatsoever. Now years of doing this, years of, somebody's got a whole big table full of things at $1. I think that'll sell. I think that'll sell. And I'll pick 5 things off for $5 that I think will sell. Yeah. I'm not making a lot of money selling it at $3, but I enjoy doing it. I like to bring interesting things to my people. But that just tells you how much stuff is out there as well.
Right.
Now, and it is interesting because you're kind of the opposite of me on a lot of the stuff, in that you definitely, I guess you don't like to waste your time with dollar items, is I guess what it comes down to.
It's funny because the way things are right now, I'm either...
You wish you had $1.
Exactly. Yeah, thanks, eBay. No, but I'm either turning deals down because I know we don't have time for it. If it's, it is too small for me, or it's stuff that's going to sit in the corner, or what I'm doing now is I'm doing the cherry picking at my shop where, someone comes in with a bunch of miscellaneous stuff and I could buy it all for $200. Well, now I'm saying, you know what? I'll give you $125 for this stuff. It's saving me little by little, saving me a little bit. Now we have just the quality stuff that when we get it on, there's not going to be any leftover junk that, wow, I got a deal on it, but what good is it because it's either tough to sell, it's cheap, it's, whatever. And it sits in the corner. But those are two things, even if it saves me a couple $100 a week by being like that, I pass on some deals or just buy half of some of them and, save me some money.
Let me play devil's advocate on that to anybody else out there. Mr. Magazine and I are in a different spot than a lot of people. I've got, I jokingly say 50,000 unlisted items. It's jokingly because I think I'm low at this point. I think I may have 60,000 at this point.
Yeah.
Mr. Magazine has room after room in his warehouse. Check out the warehouse video if you haven't already. Filled with stuff. We are not in need of buying inventory at this point. That's really the bottom line. But the flip side, devil's advocate for a lot of people out there, the way Mr. Magazine's doing it, where he's paying $125 for the good stuff that he knows, you'll never go broke doing that. The other side of that is if you're newer, if you need inventory, if you're learning a niche, pay the $200. Right. And the reason why is I guarantee you that if I were sitting on the other side of the room from Mr. Magazine and the person brought all the other stuff over and said, look, I wanted $200 for everything. He gave me $125 for that. Right. Give me $75 for the rest of it. I guarantee you I can make a pretty good living off of the $75 leftovers.
Well, another thing too is if it's a new buyer or if it's a new person you're buying from and they claim they have all this, all that, and they can bring you, on a weekly, monthly basis, you might want to pay more or buy it all the first time around to get your foot in the door. Right. Now, sometimes it may not pan out. They may not come back or you pay a little high. I mean, obviously don't overpay where you lose money. But say you're paying 60% instead of 40 or 50 on good stuff, but you're hoping, hey, this guy likes my offer. Now, next time he comes back, he's going to trust me. Now maybe you can pay 55 and then 50 and then 45 and then bigger deals less. So that's the only time I would say you're going to pay a little more.
Right. Well, I guess my point was out of the $75 leftovers, there are going to be a couple of good items in there that you weren't aware were good items.
Right.
And that's where, and it just goes to prove, that's why when I go to an estate sale, I'm more than willing to go to the estate sale middle of the second day. Because I've got my little niches, I've got my little things I know, and other people don't know them, and they just leave them sit. Same thing, Mr. Magazine knows his stuff very, very well. He doesn't know everything because it's not possible to know everything. Yeah. So out of the $75 worth of stuff that you passed, I'm going to pull out a couple of things. Hey, these 3 items sold for what I paid for the entire thing. Sure. Even you'll admit that happened.
Oh, yeah.
In the best of all worlds, you would have an infinite number of listers, get everything listed, and go through it all very, very quickly and learn what all the good stuff is. Right. You can't possibly do that. So I guess the bottom line is my cheapness doesn't hurt me in that if I were willing to spend even more money, if I've got 50,000 unlisted items now, I could probably double that in a couple of weeks if I really try to. So yeah, it's been kind of haunting me a little bit over here just because I'm wondering, I'm saying, geez, I went to that show and I spent $150 and pulled some really good stuff. But I spent $450 less than on somebody else. Right. What did they get? What am I missing out on? And you got that whole fear of missing out, FOMO type deal going on. So thank you for talking me down off that.
Get their eBay users even in stock them. Then you'll know what they've bought and sold.
That is true. I could always do that. Hit the like button if you could, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye bye.